Fellow Ghanaians, good evening. It has been some time since I last came into your homes on a matter that has grabbed not only our attention, but that of every country in the world. However, as Christmas approaches, with its attendant charged activities, and with an expected influx of visitors, it is important that I come back into your homes to provide an update on what government is doing to combat the pandemic and what is expected of you, the Ghanaian people, in this season. When I delivered the last update, I indicated that in spite of the efforts to rid the nation of COVID-19, the fight was far from over, as we had begun to experience a third wave of COVID-19 infections, driven largely by the Delta variant. The data tells us that the months of August and September in particular were the most devastating. Some 310 lives were lost to the virus in those 2 months alone, representing a quarter of the cumulative deaths from the virus since we recorded our first case in March 2020. In the months of October and November, a consistent decline in infection rates occurred, and mercifully, and by the grace of God, this has continued right into early December. As of Sunday, 12th December, some 2,042,778 tests have been conducted, out of which 131,911 positive cases have been recorded. 129,683 persons have recovered, meaning that presently the number of active cases, that is the number of people with the virus, stands at 973 persons. Inasmuch as this represents some degree of good news, we have sadly had 1,255 dying from COVID-19. The current data suggests quite a favorable COVID-19 situation prevailing in Ghana. And I say this only to encourage each one of us to continue to be vigilant and adhere to the enhanced hygiene protocols which have served us so well so far. 3 regions, i.e. Ashanti, Greater Accra, and Volta, have the bulk of infections. 7 regions have single-digit infections, and 6 regions, that is Ahafo, Northeast, Uti, Savannah, Upper West, and Western North, at the moment, have 0 active cases. We must do everything possible, at the very least, to maintain this situation, especially as the festive season approaches. Whilst these numbers should normally provide us with some comfort as far as the virus is concerned, I'm a firm believer in the oft-cited adage that it is better to be safe than sorry. We're expecting in this month of Christmas a large number of visitors, overseas Ghanaians and foreigners, into the country, with the Immigration Service doing a yeoman's job by intercepting many foreign nationals trying to enter the country through unapproved routes. The government's concern has been to limit the importation of the virus through the Kotoka International Airport. As things stand, international passengers arriving at Kotoka constitute the highest source of infections in the country, leading us to take drastic measures recently to prevent the importation of the virus from increasing the numbers of infections in the country. The Ghana Health Service tells us that an overwhelming majority that is 75% of the positive cases recorded at Kotoka, have come from passengers who are not vaccinated. Beginning yesterday, Tuesday, 14th December, government has decided that all visitors coming to Ghana have to be fully vaccinated. Furthermore, all persons seeking to travel outside the country must also be fully vaccinated. Fully vaccinated passengers coming to Ghana must, in addition, be in possession of a negative PCR test of not more than 72 hours, and also take a mandatory COVID test upon arrival at the airport. Children aged 5 to 12 will not pay for the test. Any passenger testing positive at the airport will be kept in isolation at a designated isolation facility, and non-Ghanaian will receive treatment at his or her own cost. Communications have been duly sent to all airlines flying into Ghana of the imposition of a $3,500 fine for each unvaccinated passenger that is allowed to board a flight into the country. Unvaccinated Ghanaians and residents in Ghana who departed the country before 14th December and who returned by 28th December will be offered vaccination on arrival at the airport. Further details will be provided by the Ghana Health Service. These are stringent measures, I know, but the benefits far outweigh the negatives. As your president, it is my duty to protect lives and livelihoods. The ravages of COVID-19 have been devastating on our economy, and I'm determined to return us to our normal way of life as quickly as possible by helping to defeat the pandemic. Fellow Ghanaians, as I indicated at the outset, the month of December elicits naturally an increase in the number of social gatherings in the country. I know many of you have planned either to host or attend a number of gatherings, such as religious events and activities, funerals, weddings, concerts, musical shows, festivals, anniversary, sporting events, family gatherings, and parties. Nonetheless, we should be guided by what transpired last Christmas, where there was a sharp spike in the number of COVID infection cases and deaths in the immediate months of January and February 2021. We should avoid the repetition of such a scenario after this year's celebration. We do so by ensuring that social events are held in open spaces, ensuring that attendees wear masks, ensuring that social distancing is observed, observing enhanced hygiene protocols such as hand washing and the use of sanitizers, and encouraging attendees as much as possible to come vaccinated. In as much as our active cases are now relatively low, the wearing of masks, unfortunately, remains low, and compliance with the safety protocols is still problematic. Whilst government does its part to secure the necessary numbers of vaccines to help vaccinate all Ghanaians, we cannot afford to disregard the social distancing, hand washing, mask wearing, and enhanced hygiene protocols that has brought us this far. They must continue to be a part and parcel of our daily lives and routines. Getting the jab is the best route out of the pandemic because, according to WHO, It reduces the risk of death, hospitalization, and the spread of the virus. It is for this reason that we have committed ourselves to vaccinating some 20 million Ghanaians, that is the entire adult population, by the end of the year. After the start of an impressive vaccination drive in March this year, we were confronted with vaccine supply constraints and disruptions at the global level. Fortunately, in recent months, the supply situation has improved considerably, and we estimate that by the end of December, we would have secured a total of some 26 million doses. Indeed, as of yesterday, Tuesday, 14th December, the Ghana Health Service has taken delivery of 17,736,710 vaccine doses. We are expecting an additional 8,529,090 doses by the end of the year. We have enough vaccines in the system. So, my fellow Ghanaians, I encourage each and every one of you to take advantage of this and get vaccinated. So far, we've been able to administer only 6,420,973 doses out of the 17.7 million we have at our disposal. Let me state as clearly as I can, the vaccines are safe. They will not harm you. They will protect you and your family. Contrary to the mischief being peddled by some, getting vaccinated will not cause you to vote for the MPP in the 2024 elections if you do not want to. This is an outrageous claim. Vaccination cannot change your political preferences. That is not its purpose. There are significant quantities of vaccines deployed in every corner of the country. We have thus declared the month of December as Vaccination Month, and we are rolling out an aggressive campaign of vaccination so that as many Ghanaians as possible have the opportunity to be vaccinated. It is a race against time, but we're determined to accomplish it. We continue to make steady progress in our quest to manufacture vaccines domestically. 2 days ago, on Monday, I was in Luxembourg, where I held discussions with the President of the European Investment Bank, Werner Hoyer, on Ghana's COVID-19 response plan. An €82.5 million facility has been approved for Ghana by the bank for use in the effort to strengthen healthcare delivery and the provision of specialist medical equipment and medicines across the country. Government has set aside €20 million of this to establish the National Vaccine Institute, which will supervise the domestic production of COVID-19 and other vaccines, led by the private sector and the business community. To my fellow Ghanaians living along the borders of our nation, I know of the difficulties occasioned you by the closure of our borders. As you know, the decision to close our borders, which are a source of livelihoods to many, was necessary because we wanted to limit the importation of the virus into the country. We're monitoring the level of threat of the disease and ongoing vaccinations in our neighboring countries. And as soon as we are satisfied that it is safe to do so, the borders will be open. Until then, I believe this is not the right time to reopen our land borders, especially as we're determined to prevent a fourth wave. And as such, they will remain closed until further notice. Government has beefed up its response capability and capacity to deal with the virus should we encounter an upsurge in infections. Over time, we have expanded our healthcare infrastructure, including oxygen supply and reach, particularly with respect to treating and testing centers, and the training of health professionals across the country in the care of severe and critically ill persons. However, our best bet in the fight remains adhering to the enhanced hygiene, social distancing, and mask-wearing protocols, and getting vaccinated. Enuanom, Nyame yensaka corona drono bebree wo yaman mu bebia. Omuntie ni a ebinom yakeka. Boni bia eni adro no ho. Enti misramo obia enko hospital a ben no. Ana bebia ya wo paneɛ no. Na onko wo paneɛ no bi. Eno ene bebo ye ho ban bro nyamre mu. Me yere me ma ya wo ye de. Nke aka won so. Afen so mo koso indi nhyehyɛ a ɛfa mask ɛne yɛn sa hohoro no ho. Mema mo nyinaa afisiapa. Anyame me nyumodromo. Woni na isha corona chofa pi no ya manemi hefia he. Yeka boa no ni meko he. Ifon ko be chofa he. No wa mi kpafai. Me fa mo aya hospital ni benkele. Alo heni agbo chofa he. Ni ya egbu chofa. No ni ba boa he bro nyane. Mi he fatalo mbi wogbo wono ehwe bohu eko nye ya no ni nye wo mask ke woni ne fomo mi hanye afi eya ni ebani nawo. Let us choose to live and act responsibly throughout the Christmas festivities, and remember that our actions or inactions will either help to end the pandemic at a much faster rate or continue to spread the virus in the country. I, on my part, will do everything possible to protect lives and livelihoods and return our nation to normalcy. It is possible, and the government of Nana Addo Akufo-Addo is determined to realize this goal as quickly as possible. May God bless us all and our homeland Ghana and make her great and strong. I thank you for your attention and have a good night.